Ooh. Betrothed? Alright. Tonight is the night of the ball. I sit alone in front of my mirror, staring at my reflection. It has been a long time since I dressed up like this. Are you going to be wearing that same beautiful dress from the end of Waltz's Route, or do you have a new beautiful dress? Usually, when I must show my face at a ball as the crown princess, I do not put so much effort into my appearance, not when I am likely to excuse myself early. But tonight, things are different. Tonight, people will actually be expecting me. In fact, they are waiting for me to arrive. The thought makes me nervous. Oh, wow, your hair's up and things, girl. Still got the lily. Man, it is a new dress. I want to see what it looks like in full, please. I will never like being the center of attention. A knock startles me from my thoughts.
It's me. Can I come in?
You may. I like that you're wearing your same ass boring clothes. I hope you're wearing something nice too. It's like, nah, just go in as me. Rod steps inside. The minute he sees me, his eyes widen and his mouth falls open. Has no one told you it is rude to stare? Rod turns away, cheeks flushed.
Sorry. You just look so...
He takes a deep breath as he approaches.
You look radiant.
His voice is so tender, his words so soft that it makes my heart flutter. Thank you. What are you doing here?
I had something I wanted to talk with you about before the ball. It's about Prince Lance.
Did Emmeline talk to you?
Em told me about the two of them.
As I suspected. Rod leans against the wall, suddenly looking put out. Oh no, come on, I thought that was a good idea, Rod.
She told me she only waited to tell me because she was worried I'd drive him away.
Did you not do such things in the past?
Oh, so she did talk to you.
Rod runs a hand through his hair and grumbles.
I can't help being protective of Em. She's got a good heart, and I don't want anyone taking advantage of it. Of her.
Emmeline is lucky to have you as a brother.
I'm even luckier to have her as a sister.
Rod looks at me. Ah, okay, so he was happy we convinced her to tell him.
I imagine you played some role in convincing Em to tell me. Thank you.
I am glad she confided in you. And I am glad you did not respond melodramatically.
Me? Melodramatic? You must be thinking of Prince Claude.
Maybe. Rod shakes his head.
Besides, I spent a year with Prince Lance. I know he's a good man. I trust him to treat Em the way she deserves to be treated.
Well, that is a really glowing review from you, so I'm very happy to hear that. Yeah, as Lucette says. He must be good if he has your seal of approval. Rod coughs, cheeks flushed.
Anyway, about the ball.
Rod extends a hand to me.
It's starting soon, and I would be humbled to lead you there.
I grasp Rod's hand, marveling at the solid warmth of it. All I want is to spend every day hand in hand with him, doing things together, bantering together, as the two Cinderies we are. And I feel somehow that this ball will bring us one step closer, while the title of this chapter is Betrothed. I would not have it any other way. Rod kisses my hand one last time, then tucks it into the crook of his arm as we make our way to the throne room. All eyes immediately fall on us when we are announced upon our entrance. There is applause, followed by appraising murmurs. I glance at Rod out of the corner of my eye and notice how stiff he is. I can sympathize. I lean in toward him and whisper, "Are you all right?"
You know me. I've never liked crowds.
I smile. And yet, you're a dancer who performs in front of them all the time.
Maybe. But I'm not here as a dancer. I'm here as your lover.
My lover? Wow. He looks so embarrassed when he says the word, but it is an embarrassment that stems from his feelings of unworthiness. I place my hand over his arm and smile gently. I, for one, cannot be happier everyone is seeing us together tonight. I want every day to be like this. Me and you, together. Rod flushes.
Lucette,
Alright, it's Claude's time. I've been waiting for Claude to show up in this route.
Ah, if it isn't the most majestic ice princess.
Hey! You're surprisingly the most unchanged out of everybody. I kind of miss your blue jacket, though. It really brought out, like, I don't know, made your hair stand out more. But the red is nice as well. I recognize the voice immediately. Sure enough, when I look up, Claude is striding toward us with a bright grin on his face.
It's been too long, Lucette.
It has, hasn't it? Hello, Claude.
I'm sad you haven't come to visit us yet.
Next route, boo, next route. You know I cannot. Not with the Tenebrarum here. As the Tenebrarum Bearer, I must stay close to the crystallum. Perhaps someday in the future I can master my control over it enough to leave, but for now I must remain. Interesting. So you're, like, physically tied to the crystal. But if you get stronger, you might be able to leave for short periods of time. Okay.
Ah, such responsibilities are a heavy burden.
all you ever do is shrug off your responsibilities.
Dang, hello to you too, Rod.
Rod, I am insulted.
You're always hiding in the garden or wandering around town.
I like this new pose.
Doing very important things. Do you know how many people we entertain in that garden? Its upkeep is vital, and the town visits are my way of getting to know my future subjects.
Whatever you say.
I cough strategically to break apart their conversation. I wonder what a strategic cough is. Are the Brigantian king and queen here tonight?
No, unfortunately. They were too busy with the foreign dignitaries to attend. Llama and I are here on their behalf.
I forgot his brother's nickname was Llama. Llama and Karma. Did we get to see Llama? Llama? There he is.
I'd appreciate it if you called me by my name, Claude.
Aw, you're a cutie! Look at you. Oh, you guys both got your roses. So you inherited the blue. I see. I understand. I understand everything now. Man, family resemblance is strong. A man suddenly stands behind Claude. The similarities between he and Claude are striking. I could never forget his face. Hello, Prince Lance. It is a pleasure to see you again. Oh, such sparkles.
The pleasure is all mine, Princess Lucette.
He turns to Rod.
And it's great to see you in such wonderful company. Hello again, Rod. I had no idea you were courting the princess. What a pleasant surprise this is.
I'm glad to know there's a reason for the trail of broken hearts you left behind in Brigantia.
Rod suddenly looks extremely uncomfortable. It's okay. I already know about that.
Wait, you do?
Sebi told us.
Oh, and this is why I can't bring him anywhere.
Claude grins.
Rod was very popular.
I heard musicians singing songs about him when last I was in town.
Rod looks horrified.
What?
Claude nudges his brother.
Enough of your tall tales, Llama.
It's not a tall tale. You're just disappointed they're no longer singing the Chameleon Prince song.
You mean the Karma 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 Chameleon? You come and go, you come and go. Oh, oh.
Nonsense!
They glare at each other. Definitely brothers. Thank you both for taking care of Rod while he was in Brigantia. The brothers paused to smile at me. Alright, successfully distracted them. Why do you sparkle so much? I cannot stop sparkling.
Of course, it was our pleasure.
Oh no, now I got double sparkle. Oh no, is this all that Claude's rate's gonna be? I'm gonna have so much sparkles in my eyes.
I echo the sentiment. I do what I can to assist with matters of the heart. We were lucky to have Rod, and Rod is lucky to have you, Princess Lucette.
You are right. He's very lucky to have me. I am the lucky one. Rod taught me what goodness was in a way no one else ever could. He helped me break my curse. He went to Brigantia for me.
Oh, and here I thought he went because he thought my invitation was enticing.
Oh, I'd caution anyone against accepting one of your invitations ever.
We were having such a pleasant conversation before you showed up, Llama.
And I was having such a pleasant time before I overheard you throwing that nickname around.
Rod leans closer to whisper in my ear as the brothers bicker.
Everything you said. You know I feel the same way, right? Without you, I would never have broken my curse. Without you, I might have died.
Then we saved each other. I can feel Rod's smile against my ear. I think the brothers have noticed we've started to ignore them.
It sounds like we were meant to be together.
Rod plants a soft kiss on my temple. When he pulls away, I notice Claude smiling at us.
How delightful it is to watch two people in love fawning over each other.
Especially when those people are good people.
No.
You two.
Lucette! I turn to see Emmeline walking straight toward us. I've been looking all over for you. She freezes when she sees the brothers. She immediately curtsies. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were in the middle of a conversation.
No apologies necessary, Princess Emmeline. It's a pleasure to see you again.
He glances at Lance, who is beaming unabashedly at Emmeline. So cute.
I'll just make myself scarce.
He gestures into the crowds.
I could have sworn I passed by Lady Parfait and Lady Delora. I ought to go catch up.
Curtsy. Thanks, Claude. That's very nice of you. Give your brother some space. Claude excuses himself with a bow and a wink. Lance laughs awkwardly. Poor Lance.
The typical karma.
The smile returns when he turns to Emmeline.
Good evening, Princess Emmeline. It's so good to see you in person after all this time. You look beautiful tonight.
Emmeline flushes as she smiles back. Thank you. You look very handsome yourself.
Lance, can we speak in private?
Rod glances around the crowded ballroom.
Or more privately, at least.
Lance looks unfazed.
Of course. Princess Emmeline, Princess Lucette, I'll catch up with you later.
Bye, Llama. With a bow, Lance excuses himself, and he and Rod walk off together. Be good to him, Rod. He sparkles. He can't be too bad. I'm wondering if maybe I shouldn't have told Rod after all. He would have got it right then and there when you two looked at each other. I shake my head. Rod already told me he trusts Prince Lance. I would not worry. Oh, he mentioned this to you? Briefly. Rod is glad you told him, Emmeline. Huh. I could never hide anything from Rod for long. She eyes the men as they disappear into the crowds.
I really hope he doesn't do anything to scare Lance off.
While we talk, something suddenly occurs to me. Did you come all this way looking for Lance?
Oh! No, I came to tell you I'd seen Lady Parfait and the rest of the marchand goers.
Claude mentioned seeing them in passing, too. They must be somewhere nearby. Thank you for letting me know.
Of course. I'll be with Fiorca and Desmond.
Try not to worry about Prince Lance. Everything will be fine.
I hope so. Thank you, Lucette.
We part ways. I head in the direction Claude was moving earlier, and sure enough, I see familiar faces from the marchand. Claude stands amongst them. I smile as I approach. I'm glad to see you all could make it.
Lucette, how lovely to see you.
We could never miss a celebration like this, especially when the Grump invited us himself. Grump. She must be talking about Rod. I was unaware he sent these invitations himself. Chevalier steps forward, sweeping into an overdramatic bow, as he does.
You look stunning in that dress, Lucette. Like a queen.
Oh no. And we got the two narcissists back together.
Your flattery is as always overbearing.
It's a simple compliment, Your Royal Highness.
Claude and Chevalier are smiling at each other, but there is a palpable tension in the air. Well, I mean, you know. Claude did reject Chevalier's advances. I'm sure there's still some hurt feelings over that.
It's good to know some things never change.
A soft laugh cuts through the banter. Anise steps out and curtsies.
Thank you so much for the invite, Princess Lucette.
She looks wonderstruck, her eyes gleaming in a way I've never seen before. Yeah, you used to be a personal maid of mine, and then I kicked you out, and now you're back in the palace. It occurs to me that this is the first time she's probably been back at the palace since I rudely fired her. Yep. She spins around, a bright smile on her face.
This is also very much like a dream.
It is good to see her so happy. It is good to see everyone so happy. The only people who are missing from the usual crowd are...
Lady Parfait!
As if I have summoned the knights by thought alone, Jurian and Garland approach with bright smiles.
Jurian, Garland, it's been too long.
About that, I'm sorry we haven't been by. We've had many new recruits.
And many more training sessions, I'm sure. We've heard all about it.
Garland smiles.
It's been very busy around here, even more so with the ball preparations.
Someday soon, when things have calmed down, we'll visit again.
Jurian always talks about how much he misses your casserole, Anise.
It's not just the casserole. It's all of the food. Your cooking is exquisite, Anise.
You have no idea how much that compliment means to me, Lady Jurian.
While the knights reminisce over the meals we shared together, Delora turns to me, eyebrows raised. I can't believe we're talking about the good old days without the Grump. What's he up to now? He's discussing something personal with Prince Lance.
Personal? I hope Rod makes Llama squirm.
Llama? Lance. Thankfully, the topic of our conversation shifts after that as we begin discussing current happenings. The witches talk about the youth they have been training. Anise mentions she has begun working out of Chevalier's clinic, and Claude talks at length about brigantian politics no one cares about. Ouch, you should care about this. It's a neighboring kingdom, Lucette. I'm just trying to remember, because Anise went to work with Claude in one of the other routes. Was it... Where's my stickies? Was it waltzes, I want to say? Ugh. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Yes, it was Waltz's route. But she was training. This one she's working. I don't know if that's the same thing, but it's kind of cute that they're working together. An hour passes, and eventually I excuse myself to go look for Rod. I really hope you haven't been giving Llama the 3rd degree for an hour. What in the world is taking Rod so long? Ah, the noble women. I am making my way through the crowd when 2 noble women call out to me.
Good evening, Your Highness.
They curtsy.
We came to thank you for the invitation. This gathering has been lovely.
I am glad to hear it. There is a brief silence as the 2 ladies glance at each other, and then...
Forgive our curiosity, but might we inquire about your beau? One can't help but be curious. I hear he was a commoner who built a reputation for himself from the ground up. How admirable! Princess Lucette, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Yes?
Before Sir Rod, no one else caught your fancy, yes? So it goes without saying that there is something special about Sir Rod. What is it that attracted you to him?
Their curiosity seems harmless enough, but I am nonetheless caught off guard by the question. What drew me to Rod? He is caring, he is hardworking, he is a good dancer. I mean, he is all of these things. Him being a good dancer was not what drew me to him. And he is caring, but that is not what is evident right off the bat, being a tsundere and all. But we told him ourselves that we love how hardworking he is. So I think we should say hardworking. I'm kind of on the right path for a best ending anyway, so I don't think I can really go wrong here. I have never met someone who works as hard as him. He works tirelessly for those he loves. Rod lets nothing stand in his way. He is stubborn, true, but his dedication is admirable. He inspires me, every moment of every day. The First Lady lies. The First Lady sighs, almost dreamily.
Ah, yours sounds like a match made in heaven. Truly, I am a little envious. I am very envious.
Yay. My heart swells with pride. It is good to hear them say those words. It is proof that others really do see Rod as competent and, as he would put it, worthy. I am very lucky to have him in my life. I part ways with the women. In my search for Rod, I draw closer to the throne where Father sits. Some emotion I do not understand flickers across his face as he beckons me forward. Ophelia sits beside Father, a soft smile on her face. You wanted to see me?
Indeed. I believe a speech is in order.
My heart hitches. Father, I'd rather not.
This is a speech you'll want to hear, Lucette.
Father holds up a hand, a signal that causes the musicians to stop playing. The quiet settles quickly. Alright, well, I'm curious what this will be. I think this is a new piece of music, too.
First of all, I would like to thank you all for being here tonight. We have had much to celebrate during these peaceful years, but tonight we are here to celebrate someone who is very special to me. Tonight, we are here to celebrate my daughter.
I fight the urge to duck behind the throne as Father gestures me forward. I take a deep breath as I move to stand beside him.
It has been 2 years since my daughter, Lucette Riella Brighton, became the Tenebrarum Bearer. She has already accomplished much in these 2 years. It is because of her we know this current peace. Tonight, we celebrate her hard work.
There is more applause. I fight to keep my expression calm as my heart flutters. But it is not just nerves sitting in the pit of my stomach. There is also warmth, pride. Father holds up a hand, quieting the chamber.
But that is not the only reason we celebrate tonight.
My father only offers a soft, knowing smile before gesturing into the crowd. As if on some silent cue, the crowds part, revealing Rod, who approaches the throne quietly. Rod? His name is a whisper on my lips. The room is so silent I can hear Rod take a deep breath.
Princess Lucette.
Is he gonna propose? Despite the calmness of his expression, his voice is shaky.
I love you with all my heart, Lucette.
The words, proclaimed so confidently in front of so many people, caused tears to form in my eyes.
My biggest wish is to spend the rest of my days with you, to give you everything you could ever want. And I hope, with all my heart, that you will give me that honor.
Oh, I'm actually tearing up. Such a nice, simple proposal. I was wondering if this is what you were cooking up the entire time as a surprise. Oh, I love proposals in games. They're so cute. Rod pulls a small box out of his pocket, and my heart skips a beat when he kneels in front of me. Vaguely, I am aware of gasps and whispers from the crowd, but the sound of my own nervous heartbeat is loudest. Rod opens the box, revealing a ring with a beautiful golden stone in the center. This is...
Princess Lucette Riella Brighton, daughter of King Gennaro Brighton III. Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife?
Despite my best efforts, tears slide down my cheeks as I smile. It would be my honor. As Rod stands to slide the ring onto my finger, I am so filled with joy I feel buoyant. Yay! I throw my arms around him and bury my face into the crook of his neck as the audience cheers. I barely hear the sound. My focus is on Rod's hands resting on the small of my back. I love you, Rod.
I love you too, Lucette. A toast for my daughter and her fiancé!
The music starts again, the triumphant notes filling the ballroom. I am relieved when, slowly but surely, the crowd's eyes fall away from us. I pull away from Rod as my father steps forward. Before I can react, he pulls me into a tight embrace. Yay!
Congratulations, Lucette.
I am shocked to see tears shimmering in his eyes. My father chuckles softly at my expression of wonder.
Even us hardened old men can be sentimental.
I'll have you know he's been teary-eyed for days. Aww. My father gives Ophelia a look, and she smiles back, her own eyes glossy with tears. You guys both got kids who are getting engaged and married. The sight makes my heart full. How long have you both known about this?
For a while. Rod had to ask me for permission for your hand, after all.
There was much pondering over when to make the official announcement. I thought the ball might be a good opportunity. Ophelia is ever the thoughtful planner.
It was a good idea, I admit, even if doing that in front of all those people was terrifying.
Rod rubs the back of his neck, cheeks flushed.
Thank the gods I don't have to do something like it again.
Just the actual wedding ceremony.
Oh? Ruling requires addressing crowds quite often. I'd prefer to take this one step at a time. Very, very slowly.
Well then, it is a good thing we are both very patient. Rod beams at me. He points over my shoulder. I do not realize why until someone grabs me from behind and pulls me into a tight hug. M? Yeah, sister time! And Sebby's here too! She's like, Sebby, you gotta see this. My brother's about to propose.
Oh, heck yeah! Take me to the ballroom!
Congratulations, Lucette! I'm so happy for you!
Congratulations!
I pull away with a laugh. Emmeline is practically bouncing on her heels with Sebby perched on her shoulder. Thank you, Emmeline. Sebby.
Whew, glad I made it in time to see that proposal.
I told you I'd come back for you, Sebby. So that surprise you both mentioned. It was so hard to keep this secret. The day Rod showed me the ring in the throne room and you came in, Oh, that's what you had. Nice. She shakes her head.
I was so nervous I was going to give it away.
So that thing you were hiding behind your back was the ring? Rod smiles.
Emmeline was so nervous she took it out of the room with her. She almost ruined the surprise.
But I didn't.
So now that the secret's out of the bag, are you going to start taking me places again, Rod?
Maybe.
Maybe? I'm the one who fixed things between you two, you know.
Don't worry, Sebby. You can come spend the days with me if you like.
Oh. You're not going back to Viorica's anytime soon, are you? Because my cheeks still hurt.
Cute. The music in the ballroom changes, going from a soft melody to a lively waltz. I recognize it immediately. This is the song we danced to in the forest. Rod's eyes light up.
I know this song. It's for a brigantian waltz.
His eyes are glimmering when he turns to me.
May I have this dance, Lucette?
He looks so hopeful, so excited. It has been a long time since he looked so carefree. I grasp his hand with a grin. Of course. Rod pulls me gently toward the ballroom floor, and the two of us effortlessly fall into the dance routine he taught me. For a time, the two of us are lost in each other's movements. I let Rod lead me through twirls after twirl and match each of his movements perfectly. Rod grins.
You've really improved.
Improved? If you were to challenge me right now, I would win.
Oh.
His fingers settle on my hips. I stumble at the abrupt movement, nearly falling into his chest as he laughs. Ah, that was a cheap shot.
I would challenge you right now, but I wouldn't want to embarrass you in front of everyone.
I stomp my foot down close to his instep. Rod steps away with a smirk. Next time we're in here alone, I will challenge you, and I will win.
That's it. That's the spirit I fell in love with.
Rod pulls me into another underarm twirl. I glance around during the turn and notice Prince Lance and Emmeline dancing not too far from us. Rod sees me looking and raises an eyebrow. You never did tell me how your talk with Prince Lance went. Rod shrugs.
It was fine.
That is all you have to say?
Well, I only really wanted to make sure he was serious about courting my sister.
And?
He said he was, as expected. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't need to ask anything else. I know Prince Lance, and I trust him to treat Emmeline courteously.
The music picks up in tempo and our conversation dwindles as we again focus on our dancing. Later, Rod and I make our rounds around the throne room accepting congratulations from everyone. The last people we see that night are the tavern goers who offer us the most heartfelt well wishes. Time passes swiftly, and before we know it, the clock strikes midnight. Later, the group of us stand by the palace gates for the final goodbye of the night. Well, it's been fun, but we ought to get back. We have lessons tomorrow. Waltz yawns. Aw, he's sleepy.
Oh, I'm sure the students are going to be more energetic than both of us combined tomorrow.
Which is why we should be getting back. We're in charge of setting a good example. Delora faces us with a smile. But the sleeplessness will be worth it. I can't believe you proposed in front of all these people.
Oh, Delora, stop teasing.
Parfait beams at us.
We really are so happy for you both.
Thank you.
Rod looks away embarrassed. Delora sidles closer to me. She leans close enough to whisper. I still remember the bossy princess turned maid I accompanied around the palace. You've grown so much since then. I'm proud of you, Lucette.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Even teasing as they are, I can tell the words are sincere. Thank you for everything, Delora. We watch everyone walk back into the darkened town until we can see them no more. And then...
It was nice to catch up with everyone, but is there a reason that grumpy kid wasn't here?
I know who he means immediately. Cinna, the heir to the Lucis? Rod shrugs.
He received an invitation, same as everyone else.
I shake my head with a sigh. He is very temperamental. I think I am going to need to befriend him before he decides to grace us with his presence.
Temperamental? Sounds like a certain princess I know.
Rod scowls. You mean you used to know?
Says the most temperamental, overdramatic prince in this world.
I am terribly offended.
I cross my arms. Never mind, Cinna. You and Lance will be staying with us for the next 2 days, correct? Claude nods.
I figure I may as well take a break from my duties while I can.
You mean the duties you always run from?
Must you insist on being so rude?
Regardless of why you're here, this will be nice for Emmeline too. She and Prince Lance can spend some time together.
And what of me? Has no one missed my company? What am I, chopped liver?
Before Rod can say anything snarky, I nudge him and speak for myself. No, it is good to have you here, Claude.
Just don't expect us to spend that much time with you.
Dang. So rude.
I know, I know. I suppose I'd just be unwanted company now that you two are engaged.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing at all.
Claude tips his head.
Tonight was fun, but it's getting late, so I shall excuse myself. Good night, darlings.
And there's Miss Karma in there. Claude excuses himself with a little bow, and Rod and I return to the palace shortly after. Rod and I walk through the hallways hand in hand. Everything is quiet until Rod mumbles something beneath his breath. I look at him, curious. What was that?
I just remembered something I was going to bring up earlier.
Oh?
I happened to overhear a conversation you were having with some noblewomen earlier.
You don't say. You were eavesdropping?
You were talking about me. I was really happy to hear you thought I was hardworking.
That goes without saying.
Still, it means a lot to hear you say it. Because everything I do...
You do for me. Yes, I know. And I will always be grateful.
You do it for me.
There's no need for that. I do it because I want to.
He leans forward to kiss my lips.
But... Thank you, Lucette.
We both pause as we come to my bedroom door. Normally, this is when we part ways. Now neither of us moves.
I know it's late, but I'd like to spend some more time with you.
He suddenly looks embarrassed or... nervous? Me too.
Perhaps we can take a stroll through the garden, or...
I don't want to be... I don't want to be too forward and be like, stay with me in my room tonight, my love. I think he would just run away. Like, they're both very shy and reserved, so... You know, how about you guys just communicate and decide what you'd be most comfortable with? What do you want to do?
But I asked what you wanted to do.
And now I'm asking you. Relationships are give and take, after all.
I don't care what we do. I just want to spend more time with you. I want to catch up for all the lost time.
Then come spend some time with me in my room.
Are you sure?
I look at him quizzically. Yes? It is just my room, not some hidden secret chamber. I nudge him playfully as I open the door. But it's late. And it's your room. I call on servants to make some warm tea for us and set it down on the table when it arrives. Rod looks uncharacteristically nervous. I notice he glances everywhere but at my bed. What have you got on your mind, sir? This should not be so awkward. I decide to break the silence. So, how are your sword practices going? I shake my head when Rod startles. You didn't think I'd forget, do you?
No, there's just been so much in my mind I forgot.
He picks up his teacup and gingerly sips at the steaming liquid inside.
They're going well. Not so well I would want to challenge anyone to a sword fight, but I'm getting better at least.
He looks at me seriously.
Someday I'll be able to protect you.
Rod, I have magic. I can protect myself.
I know, but I don't. And I want us to be able to protect each other.
He exhales softly.
I'm sorry again for keeping those practices a secret. I just wanted to surprise you.
How am I meant to celebrate your successes if I do not know what you've been doing? Rod nods.
That's a fair point. But I told you I wasn't going to keep any more secrets, and I mean it.
I'll hold you to it. Maybe I will even come watch you practice. Rod flushes.
I wouldn't recommend that.
The two of us continue to talk until our tea is depleted. By that time, my body is heavy with exhaustion and all I want to do is sleep.
It's late. I should go now.
The moment Rod stands, I take his hand.
Lucette.
I would like for you to stay with me tonight. He stares at me. I would like to hold you tonight. Yeah, I was like, you guys are gonna do some cuddling, kind of like Holmes and Emily did. The words make heat pool in the core of my stomach, but I continue speaking. I would just like to sleep next to you. It has been so long since I've seen you.
I'm here to stay now.
I know, but... Rod squeezes my hand with a gentle smile.
I want to stay with you. Tonight and whenever you'll have me. And I'll do whatever you're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm. You guys gotta talk this out. Whatever I'm comfortable with, I stand, and before he can react, pull him toward the bed.
Lucette.
I fall backwards. Rod topples over me. For a few moments, the two of us lay there staring at each other, feeling each other's rapid heartbeats through our palms. Then I kiss him. Oh! A soft kiss at first, but then a deeper one. An intoxicating heat floods my body, and I let the feeling carry me away as Rod leans into me, trailing kisses down my lips to my collarbone. He pauses, breathless.
I love you, Lucette. With all my heart.
I love you too, Rod. After a time, all the kisses blur together. The last thing I am aware of as I fall asleep is Rod's body curled around mine. I really hope you got out of your, very elegant dress, though. It'll be ruined. The news of our engagement spreads quickly. Now that we all know Rod and I will be married in the future, his lessons with the king and knights resume again in earnest. The two of us still have a long way to go before we are ready for marriage, but now, finally, the path is cleared, and I plan to enjoy every moment walking it with Rod. We have a bright future ahead of us, for Rod and I, but also for our kingdom.